Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, I will continue from where I left. So I'm working on a FinOps project, a cost optimization project where we are trying to optimize the costs of all our AWS services, be it EKS, be it Lambda function, be it S3 bucket, all of the services we want to optimize the cost for in our AWS account. In my last video, I spoke about that how you can set up a tiny MCP server. You can also configure codecs the way you see on your screen, and you can integrate these tools with your cost optimization tool also. Okay, so in my company we are using CloudZero, but you can integrate it with any other tool. Okay, in one video I will show you a hands-on demo also, but I just want to share the updates that are happening in this project in my company on day-to-day basis. Okay, so it's going to give you a very good idea of what actually happens, what are the challenges that we face on day-to-day basis when you're working on a FinOps project. Okay, so as you can see right now, I'm able to get some insights into my cloud costs for the different services using MCP servers integration with my CloudZero tool. Okay, as you can see right now, so what I was able to find that the pods, the EKS pods that we're running, okay, so each pod has its spec. It has a CPU and memory resource request and limits. So we found that in the dev and QA account, we have over provisioned these pod specs. Okay, I'm talking about the main YAML manifest file where we create a deployment, and within the deployment file you have a pod spec. Within that you have container, and there you configure your resource request and limit. So we are able to identify that these resource request and limits are much higher than what it should be. And how I was able to find out? What I did, I gave access to this codex terminal here. Okay, I gave access to it to run some commands on CloudWatch metrics of my on my pod resources in the last 1 month or last 2 months. So it ran the basic CloudWatch commands to see the metrics of all these pod resources in the last 1 month, or you can say last 3 months of metrics data. It was able to analyze, and then it's able to identify whether we should actually decrease the value of our CPU and memory resource request and limits. Okay, and it was actually able to recognize it that we are actually using double the size of these things that than we should. So for example, we are having like a 2 GB of RAM. So in dev and QA we can go for 1 GB, so we can save a lot of cost here. Okay, so all I'm saying is you can use this tool, you can give it the access, but just remember that you're only giving the read-only access so that it's able to read the data from your AWS APIs. Okay, you don't have to give the right access, especially when you're working in a company. You don't want to do that. So stay safe. So just like give the read-only access to this so that it can analyze all the CloudWatch metrics data in the last 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, depending on what data you want to analyze. And depending on that, it can recommend the actions. It can recommend the actions that you can take on these different YAML manifest file to reduce your resource utilization on these different services. Okay, so this is one thing. And I just had a call with my senior engineering director where I have like a weekly updates meeting with him. So where I share all the updates on the things that we have done. So this is the thing that I did. So in this last week, I was able to actually do the changes for two services in the dev environment, and we were able to analyze that the performance is absolutely fine in the dev even after reducing the resources on these two applications. Okay, now I have close to 25 services that I manage here, so I have to roll this out to all the 25 services. So in one service we are able to save close to $4 to $5. So in 25 services we'll be able to save close to $100 per month. This is only for the dev account, mind you. Same when it happens, then I'm going to roll it out to the QA environment, and there also we will be able to save $4 to $5. Okay, so for example, I take it as like $5. Once again, I mean 5 into 25 is going to be close to like $125. If you take as like $4, in that case, it's going to be $100 per month on the 25 services in QA. So in total, we are able to save 100 in dev and 100 in QA, which means $200 per month, which means that yearly savings of close to 2,400 US dollars. So that's how we are able to track it. And we have a FinOps project where we have to create the Jira tickets to mention how much we are able to save when we are doing all these actions, so that we are able to track our exact savings that we can discuss in our this weekly call that I have, and the management also, they can discuss it with the higher management, that like these are the things that we have done in the past like 5 months or 6 months. This is the cost that we were able to save. These are the actions that we took. These are the documents or the tickets that we raised for it. So in this way, we are working on this project. Okay, so I wanted to highlight this, that this is how the things work. So apart from that, I'm also working on some RDS instances, once again in the Dev and QA account. I also spoke about it in the last video as well. So there, what I have done, I once again went really deep into it with my insights. So what I did, I just prompted to give me the insights of the team that is consuming the most cost in cloud, and then I told it to check the services that that particular team is using, and just identify the services that are consuming the most for that team, for which the AWS bill is the highest. So then it recommended me some RDS instances in the Dev and QA account. Those instances are highly provisioned in terms of the instance class, in terms of IOPS, in terms of storage. So once again, what I did, we ran some cloud metrics based analyzation in the last 3 months to identify how much we're actually using of those resources that we have configured with these RDS instances, relational database services. So once again, we are able to find out that we're like nearly using double the size of the instance class. We have I think double the size of storage that we need, and in terms of IOPS also we can reduce a lot. So I have reached out to the team. I've given them the recommendations. Now they have to start do it on one instance in the dev account first. Then they're going to do some application based performance testing just to see whether the application in dev is still like behaving the same way as it was with the higher provisioned instance. Like highly provisioned instance. Then they're going to share that results with us, and depending on that, we're going to move ahead. In case the performance of the application is absolutely fine, we're going to roll it out to other dev RDS instances. Okay, and then we're going to roll it out to the QA instance also. Okay, so this is like one thing about the over provisioning. Other thing, I saw that for a few dev clusters, they have like provisioned a multi-AZ feature, which means that you have a standby instance in another availability zone, which we don't need actually for the dev instances. So for that also, I have recommended that we can actually use a single instance only. We don't need a standby instance in case something goes wrong, since it's the dev application. So I think critical about it, we have the automated backups of these RDS instances, so we can always restore from the past. So that's what I've recommended. So once again, it's going to save a lot of cost for us. I'll share the exact figures also once I start working on this. We've just seen that the things that we can do. Now we have to analyze and we have to start working on these tasks also. So once again, I'm using this codex based prompts within my MCP server integration, and it can talk to my CloudZero APIs, and it's able to get all the insights. As you can see right now, I ran some prompts and I was able to get the action item. So this is the way you are able to get it. You can say that you're able to do more in less time. Okay, so this is how we are able to use AI tools to have more efficiency in our work. That's all about it. So I just wanted to share all the updates with you, and I'm going to share more videos so that you're able to like get the real feel of the things that happen on real world, especially in a FinOps project, in a cost optimization project. What actually goes into it, how you actually like talk to these developer teams or the team leads, and how they're going to come back with their action items or their things that they can do from their end, and how you're going to update the management also. All right, I hope this video was useful to you. And before I go, I would like to talk about my YouTube membership program, where I have a lot of premium videos available, As you can see right now, I'm talking about a production Docker file. So this is a sample Docker file from a production environment, which I'm covering here, and I'm explaining each and every instruction that is there in this Docker file. Apart from that, I also have videos on some of the most important site reliability engineering terms that are often asked in the interview. How do you explain that? I have video on SRE golden signals, which is very critical when you're actually working and you're configuring some dashboards for a particular application. So you would need SRE golden signals. And then I have a hands-on project on SLI, SLO, SLA. So I start with the theory, like how do you explain these terms, and how do you explain an end-to-end project that you've done on SLI, SLO, SLA. So that I've covered here. Here you can see I'm using a Java Spring Boot application, which is being monitored using Prometheus and Grafana tools. And the application is deployed into AWS EKS clusters. Apart from that, I also have video on distributed tracing with Grafana Tempo, and I also have one video on how do you use open telemetry for metrics collection for a Java Spring Boot application in Prometheus and Grafana. So it's again, all these videos are hands-on, which means that I'm going to share the document, the end-to-end document that I'm following here, and how do you configure all these things in real. So all that I'm trying to cover here. Apart from that, I also have video on logs aggregation using Grafana Loki tool for Java Spring Boot application. So how do you aggregate logs from multiple applications into Grafana Loki? So that I am covering here. Then in production, we don't use the standard Prometheus to collect our data. We use an enterprise solution which is called Mimir. So the difference between Prometheus and Mimir I've covered in this video. I also have a shell scripting crash course with production scenarios where I'm going to talk about the type of questions that are asked in the interview. Apart from that, all the fundamentals of shell scripting that you should learn for the interview. Then I have other videos as well. As I mentioned, I have multiple videos on Prometheus and Grafana based Java Spring Boot application monitoring in production, how it is done. So these are the videos. Apart from that, I also have Terraform, I have Kubernetes, and I have AWS, Linux, and you can see some of the videos in my YouTube membership program are actually recordings from my real live batches that I've run for SI trainings. A lot of people have got the job as well. So I have these recordings as it is, and in each of these videos I'm talking about how it's going to look like when you're actually working in real as an SRE. So I'm talking about all that. Yeah, so these are the things that I have on my channel, so you can take a look at it. If you find it useful, you can go for the membership as well. It's going to immensely help you in your interviews. All right, so that's all I wanted to cover in this video. I hope this video was useful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. Please share this with others. Please do subscribe to my channel and keep watching my channel. All right, guys, that's all for this one, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye for now.